Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trek Canon. So, today, well, excuse the dark black man at nighttime. I know y'all probably gonna have to change the contrast or something like that, change the brightness or something like that for my bootleg videos. But, I figure I have my J.J. Abrams solar flares come in. Check it out. Shh. Oh, wait. Shh. Oh, snap. The J.J. Oh, snap. This not the solar flare, sorry. The camera flare. But anyway, so check it out, right? So today's episode, we're going to be talking about Star Trek Discovery, Season 3, Episode 9 and 10, Terra Firma, Parts 1 and 2. Now, I think I'm going to have the list a little differently. And there's three things I wanted to kind of talk about. The first thing is Michelle Yeoh, Empress Georgiou, Philippa Georgiou herself, or as I like to call her, the female Jackie Chan. Now, I've followed Michelle Yeoh ever since the 80s, okay, when she was kicking butt with Cynthia Rothrock. Now, when I found out that Michelle Yeoh was going to be in Star Trek Discovery, I was like, yay! But um, her character grew on me, so much over the series so far. All right, everything that they said about her at the end of the episode, I thought was very accurate. And I thought that she was a great addition to the team. Now, spoilers again. You know how I roll. Y'all know how I roll. So now, when me and my son was watching the first part of Terra Firma, and we were introduced to Carl, I looked over at him and I said, "Hey, I bet Carl is the guardian of forever." And my son said, "Who's the guardian of forever?" In which case I had to give him the what? But once I told him the name of the episode, which was City on the Edge of Forever, which, as anyone who knows me knows, that that's one of my favorite all-time episodes, maybe besides The Visitor of Deep Space Nine, ever made. Okay, uh, as a matter of fact, probably before The Visitor, that was always my top episode, City on the Edge of Forever. So basically, what I wanted to do, I'm sorry. So Michelle Yeoh was an awesome addition to the crew, and just to have her type of actress on the show, it was very interesting to have someone from her genre on Star Trek Discovery, and she did well. I loved it. Just as always, as I love Michelle Yeoh. Now, it kind of, I felt bad to see her go. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about was, well, I'll probably make another video about that. But the second thing I wanted to talk about was Carl, or as I had originally known him, the Guardian of Forever. Now, let me give you a little backstory on the Guardian of Forever. Now, like I said prior, the Guardian of Forever was from the original series episode City on the Edge of Forever, and they found him on this barren world amongst ruins. And basically, Dr. McCoy jumped through them and changed some things in the past, which stopped the Federation from existing. The Guardian allowed Spock and Kirk to go back and correct it, and once he did, it brought him back, and everything was fine. Now, in non-canon, all right, a while back, it was a series of books I read from Star Trek, and one of the books of the series explained this war that was going on with Zero in the Q Continuum, and how the Guardian of Forever was part of that war. Now, the Guardian was placed on that planet as a punishment by the Q, according to this literature, which was outstanding, by the way. Now, Zero, he was basically dismembered and cast out of the galaxy, and a great barrier was put up, and we were introduced to his head in Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. So there were other entities that were involved in this, but right now we're talking about the Guardian of Forever. So the Guardian of Forever was basically exiled to this planet by the key continuum. So I'm guessing that over time he ended up being able to leave, being able to teleport and do the things that he was normally able to do as an entity of his level. Now, the Guardian of Forever wasn't referenced anymore until this episode, and I'm very happy that they brought him back. Now, let's talk about the mirror universe because it could get a little trippy. All right, so media wise, the mirror universe premiered in the episode Mirror Mirror from the original series. Now, that set up the canon of the mirror universe and basically the laws and everything and that govern the Terran Empire. When Spock left the Terran Empire, I mean when Kirk left the Terran Empire, he left Spock with a thought basically, which was if this type of government, if this empire exists with these type of rules, then it's going to collapse. It would be illogical basically for you to follow it, and we found out in Deep Space Nine that Spock actually did start a revolution. Now, this is where it gets a little trippy in canon because when the show Enterprise came out, we go back to actually, let me correct myself. The mirror universe technically didn't start with Mirror Mirror. Technically, it started with the Tholian web. If you want to be kind of technical about it, which was the original series, which was an original series episode, and I'm gonna tell you why. In the Tholian web, the USS Defiant was trapped in like this interdimensional shift. He ended up shifting, but not only interdimensionally, but uh, through time. It ended up back in a few years before Kirk was captain of the Enterprise, where Archer got it from the Tholians. Okay, and that dramatically increased their technology because they had the Defiant. Now Hoshi ended up becoming emperor. So I was hoping when Discovery first started that Emperor Giorgio would have actually been Emperor Hoshi, but an older version of her. But they went with Empress Giorgio. The timeline would have fit everything like that, but whatever. So in that episode, the Terran Empire found out about the alternate universe. However, the Federation knew nothing about the alternate universe until Mirror Mirror. Okay, so you got to get that kind of straight. So the Terrans knew all about Kirk's universe, but Kirk didn't know about the Terran universe. The Terran universe. Now, the thing is that there's been many jumps between the Terran universe and the Federation, and they've not really been consistent, especially with Discovery, as far as how that goes. Because if we continue on, by the time Deep Space Nine episodes come, the coalition that they were speaking of between the Romulans and the Klingons was successful because the Klingons ran the Empire by Deep Space Nine's time period, as indicated by when Chancellor Worf came to take back the space station in the Deep Space Nine series mirror alternate universe. Okay, so I wonder, so that's kind of like kind of like a little snippet of how the canon behind the mirror universe has kind of been progressing. Okay, but they did not have Kelpians. They were never mentioned. So that was something that they decided to throw into canon. So I like Saru in both universes, but I think that they could have went with Saru differently. Mirror universe counterparts are always different. So I would have liked to have seen them with, say, Saru with the goatee or something like that, with maybe an evil Saru. But overall, I loved Tara, I love these two episodes. It was a very good nod to the Mirror Universe, a very great nod to Empress Georgiou and the Michelle Yeoh and her time on the show. Okay, now as far as the burn goes, all right, I'm trying to see where they go with this because, again, I still think in canon, based on canon, they should have kept it centered around or leading towards Lazarus. That would have made more sense. But I want to see where they go. I want to see, the interest that they have, the things that they go with it. Now, the thing about the Guardian of Forever, when he if they was kind of trying to be tricky, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because they wanted you to think it could be a Guardian of Forever or it could be a Q. Why did they want you to think it could be a Q? Because the newspaper, articles on the newspaper, that was something that was established in the canon of Voyager. That this is something that they use for humans to be able to interpret what's going on with them. But once I seen the doorway, if you're not really a big Trekkie fan, you wouldn't understand the portal and how Carl was talking, which is why I was like, oh man, this guy's got to be the Guardian of Forever. And I'm kind of happy I didn't put a video out on that because I wanted to see, I kind of, that I really wouldn't want it to ruin. But again, watch the episode if you haven't. Thanks for subscribing. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching. And as always, be cool. Peace, recycle, save the whales.